You know, as soon as a new product has been released from The Ordinary that I feel needs a little bit of further investigation, I am going to jump on it and do a deep dive. This is the Volufiline 92% plus Pal-Isoleucine 1%. And this has got a lot of buzz surrounding it because The Ordinary were very, very smart, even though they do not make really tall claims about this product on their website. They chose to release this on TikTok Shop for a week before it became available to the wider public on their website. And you know, when you do that, TikTok does what TikTok does, and it's very, very good at it. Outlandish claims come left, right, and center, and this has now been branded filler in a bottle without The Ordinary having to get their hands dirty at all. So, you know, hats off to The Ordinary for their clever marketing without having to market. Feel like I need to bring everybody back down to earth with a bang. I'm not saying this isn't going to work. However, it isn't filler in a bottle. So what is it? How does it work? And has it given me results in the short amount of time that I've been using it? I'm gonna answer all those questions in this video. So this is the brand new The Ordinary's Volufiline 92% plus Pal-Isoleucine 1%. It's going to set you back £19.50 in the UK, and you get 15 mils of product, which might not seem a lot, but this is going to last you a really long time because the product in here stretches on application. You need very, very little. Obviously, it is November, if it's actually November when you're watching this, but it's definitely November when I'm filming this. So The Ordinary Slovember campaign is live. You get 23% off, making this £15 to buy rather than the £19.50 at full price. So if you are going to give this a shot, now is definitely the time. Volufiline is actually the trade name for the ingredient sarsaparagine, which I'm really hoping I'm pronouncing right because it's a bit of a tongue twister in itself. Now, sarsaparagine is a cholesterol-like molecule which activates the fat cells to enhance skin volume and skin elasticity. Pal-Isoleucine 1% is a similar ingredient that works in a slightly different way. Teamed together, these are a dream team for plumpness and volume. So Pal-Isoleucine 1% is a lipoamino acid. Now, lipoamino acids are very good at different things. This particular lipoamino acid is shown to target volume loss by supporting those skin structures that are responsible for that plump, juicy, fuller look. Pal-Isoleucine 1% also supports your natural collagen and elastin production, helping to plump out the skin, smooth out any fine lines and wrinkles, really supporting your skin's natural elasticity. So we know that TikTok has branded this filler in a bottle, and before everybody goes out and buys it and then gets really disappointed because this doesn't work like filler. Obviously, filler is an immediate result. As soon as you leave the clinic, the volume is there. This is not going to act like that. What does The Ordinary say this is actually going to do for you? Well, most products that say they're going to plump out the skin and give it that juicier effect do it through hydration. And this isn't an exception to the rule. This does give you an abundance of hydration and plumpness that comes along with it. But this also can increase lipid density in the skin, making you look like you have a lot more fullness, a lot more fat tissue underneath the surface. So this is a targeted treatment. This isn't one of those products that you're going to add to the entire face. You only put this in the areas that you're experiencing volume loss. So for me, that is underneath the eyes, temples, tops of the cheekbones, and also around my mouth area where I'm getting these marionette lines, which are becoming more prominent day by day. A problem that this product is going to have is that a lot of my fellow creators who I trust and respect are coming out doing videos saying that if you feel like this is going to replace any age-related fat loss that is reduced over time, you are on cloud cuckoo land. That Volufiline just cannot do that. There is no scientific evidence to suggest that that be the case. Well, I trust The Ordinary as well as my fellow creators, so I didn't feel like I was going to do this product justice by just spouting out a lot of scientific research, because a lot of anecdotal research and a lot of anecdotal results also need to be taken into consideration. So let's talk about the scientific evidence, which there is very, very little. So Volufiline, they did a study a long time ago with breast tissue. So they've never done a study on the face, and Volufiline is mostly used on the face, which is why I think that's a little bit disappointing that more studies aren't really available to look at. But they did a study with breast tissue where they applied Volufiline to one breast, left the other one completely clear and blank, and within the space of I don't know how many weeks, that breast that had had the Volufiline applied to on a daily basis had increased by 2.5%. So the fat volume was increased by 2.5%. Now, that could have been for all sorts of different reasons, and 2.5% isn't absolutely ginormous, but in a scale of a study, it's a result. It's not groundbreaking, but the result is there. So we do have to look at that. With the introduction of Pal-Isoleucine 1%, that is where this product becomes a lot more interesting to me, and that's the reason why I felt the need to delve a little bit deeper and try this out for myself. So before we talk about my personal results, have I received any? What do I think? What are my thoughts and feelings? Let's just go into the application of this product. 2 drops. 2 drops is all you need. It's very difficult to actually dispense 2 drops. This does come with a dropper. Don't tip the bottle all the way around so it's upside down and vertical, because way too much product is going to be released and you're just going to waste it. So just turn the bottle a little bit and be patient. Wait for those 1 or 2 drops to fall in the palm of your hand, and then use a clean finger to dispense this onto the skin. So you can apply this on bare skin. However, I apply this, because of that oilier consistency, apply this over the top of my normal skincare. So in the morning, I will do my normal skincare routine, and just before SPF, I'll apply my Volufiline plus Pal-Isoleucine. At night time, I'll apply this straight after I apply my tretinoin, and then I apply a moisturizer over the top. If you don't want that slightly slippy residue on the surface of the skin, apply this before moisturizer. If that doesn't offend you, it definitely doesn't offend me because it soaks in so quickly anyway, I'd apply my moisturizer before. Just a word of warning, there is a little bit of a tingling, heat build-up sensation that happens on the skin after application. That is completely normal. Don't worry about it unless this starts to really sting and irritate, in which case remove it straight away and don't use it again. I find the tingling sensation really quite nice and therapeutic. I like to know that a product is working for me and that it's getting to where it needs to go in the skin, and that tingling sensation, that heat, just gives me that assurance that this is doing its job. So this is what you've all been waiting for: results. What results can you expect to see? Well, because of the lack of evidence surrounding both of these ingredients within the formula that are going to do the work, I don't really want to speculate what results you will see. However, I can share what results I've seen with continued use both morning and evening with this. Now, I was impressed straight away, and I actually had to scratch my head and think, is this just the placebo effect? Am I making this up in my own head? My under eyes felt a little fuller. They felt a little bit swollen underneath. They didn't look swollen at all. They did look plump. They did look a lot juicier, and my fine lines and wrinkles were way less pronounced after 1 application. So I first applied this in the evening. In the morning, I woke up and I was like, what? Say what now? What is going on here? Everything seems a lot smoother. Everything seems more hydrated, plumper. After one application, or even after two applications, I can't say that the fat pads underneath my skin have increased, because that's a ridiculous claim. That's just not going to happen. But it's possibly the hydration that's made my under eyes look and feel a lot plumper. It feels a little bit like, you know, when you wake up the morning after being crying and you've got that heavier feeling underneath your eyes, like it's just swollen, it's just a little bit bigger. That's what it feels like on me. It is not an uncomfortable feeling. I can just feel that there's something bigger going on in that area. And also around my smile lines. I've just got this thing that my smile lines are a lot less pronounced. They're just plumped out a little bit more. And I've been using this for around about 10 days, and I started seeing the results within 24 hours. This bottle's probably going to last me at least 3 months, and depending on how much of the face you like to apply this to, depends on how much volume loss you've experienced, I would say between 3 and 6 months this bottle will last you. As soon as this became available on the Ordinaries website, I went and bought one for my mum, because I am desperate for her to try this, hoping that she receives the same results and the same feelings as me, so I don't feel so stupid saying that this is fantastic for me. Please let me know if you're already trying this. Is it working for you? How are you getting on with it? Is it a little bit too greasy for you? Are you finding the texture really inviting and you're enjoying it like me? Do let everybody know your experiences in the comments section. Let me know if you're going to try this out in the future. Really hope you've enjoyed this video. Hope you found it helpful. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, give this video a share, and hope to see you all in the next video. Bye everyone.